Welcome back, new YouTube show, and today is a special one because it's from Coverciano, where I've just covered the Luciano Spalletti's press conference before the first two World Cup qualifying matches against Norway and Moldova, and the biggest talking points was basically Franchesco Acerbi refusing to play for the national team for the next two games. It's an announcement that Spalletti made after a few minutes in his press conference. He said that the news of the day after that Lucaneri of Fiorentina had replaced another centre-back, Alessandro Bonjouro, in defence for Italy. Bongiorno's case is different because he's been injured for a few weeks. He said that the news from today was that he has spoken to Acerbi after last night's Champions League final between Inter and PSG in Munich, and Acerbi said that he would not come here to Florence to prepare for Italy's games against Norway and Moldova. And of course, as Spalletti said, these games will be crucial for the path and for Italy's hopes to qualify for the World Cup. He said it very honestly, Spalletti. He said, let's say very honestly, that this game, especially the one against Norway, will say a lot, if not everything, about our chances to qualify for the World Cup. Let's remember that just the first team, the group winners, qualifies straight away for the World Cup. The second place will have to go through the playoff, but the last two times that Italy played in the playoff, they didn't manage to reach the World Cup, and the last appearance of the Azzurri in the competition, it's still the one from 2014. And there was a lot of noise about Acerbi's call-up over the last few weeks and months, because after Italy's last game in March against Germany in the Nations League, there was a specific question to Spalletti about Acerbi. But Spalletti said he would not call Acerbi. He replied to these reporters saying, "Do you know how old is he?" And saying that he had trust in the new course with Bastoni, with Calafiori, with Bongiorno. He had trust in the players that he had already called, and he didn't want to call Acerbi also because of his age. But then he changed his mind because of Acerbi's performances, because of Inter's results in Serie A and in the Champions League, which were still very, very positive despite the shameful, I would say, result from last night against PSG. So Spalletti changed his mind on Monday, start of the week. He released his Italy squad. He called up Acerbi, but then he spoke to the player again this morning, and the player said that he was not coming. And Spalletti clarified that it was not for a fitness issue or for an injury. It was a decision made by the player. Why was Acerbi's call-up so important? Because the last two times that Inter played against Man City, Champions League final in 2023, and this season against PSG in the Champions League phase, Holland didn't score. It was a 0-0 in the most recent game, and you remember Inter lost the previous Champions League final in 2023 against Man City. Rodri scored the decisive goal, but not Erling Haaland. So everyone was waiting for Acerbi against Holland again, this matchup in the World Cup qualifiers, but it's not going to happen because Acerbi has taken a different decision, a different direction, and he's not going to play for the national team for his decision. Spalletti explained what happened. As I said, the decision from Acerbi came this morning. He said that the player texted him saying that he was in no mood to play for the national team. He didn't want to play for the national team because he was mentally not ready to play for the national team. So Spalletti and Acerbi texted each other, and then Spalletti called the player as well, and in the end he accepted that he would not be part of the squad. Spalletti said that Acerbi is not going to be replaced for now. He said something pretty strong as well, I think. He said, the players that we have here are even stronger, so we rely on them to try to win these games, and especially the match against Norway will be crucial because it will say a lot on whether we will qualify or not for the World Cup. don't forget that Norway have already won their opening 2 games in Group I, while Italy will make their debut on June 6 in Oslo, and then they will host Moldova on June 9 in Reggio Emilia, and it's a game that I'll be covering as well from the stadium. So there are already the first consequences from the massive Inter defeat against PSG here in Florence for the national team. Of course, Spaleti will work hard with his players, will try to motivate them as much as he can, because it's vital for Italy to qualify for the next World Cup, because we haven't played in this competition for too long. And the Inter players, plus Gigi Donnarumma, of course, the Italy captain who won the cup with PSG last night, will arrive here at Coverciano, crossing this gate by tomorrow, so by Monday at dinner time. They will be here, and they will start working with the rest of the team, working towards the game against Norway. Now Italy will play again. I can show you a little bit the entrance of the training center at Coverciano here in Florence. So Italy will train today. They will train tomorrow, but tomorrow's is a training session closed for the media, and then they will continue training until Thursday, when they will fly to Oslo, and then Friday it's the game against Norway. But again, the very big talking point, I'll show you another part of the Italian training ground in here. The big talking point from today was this Acerbi decision, which again is not tied to any physical issue, but it's just a decision that has been made by the player because he's in no mood to play for the national team. Certainly there is an excellent relationship with Spaleti as well, because as I already mentioned, Spaleti spoke about Acerbi's age, and so the player probably didn't want to make any effort to play for the national team after what Spaleti had said, and after the big Inter defeat against PSG last night. So the situation is already, I mean, I wouldn't say pretty tense, but of course the focus must be super high for the Azzurri, because the game that I have against Norway, it's one that they, not even saying win at all costs, but at least try not to lose, because they must win the group. They must qualify as the first team in the group to go to the World Cup, because all the Azzurri fans, all the media, everyone wants to see Italy at the World Cup again. Surely the way to start this international break is not the best, because Acerbi should have given the Azzurri an important help, especially against Erling Haaland and Norway, but this clearly is not going to be the case, because he won't be around. I wrote every word that Spalletti said in his press conference in my report for Football Italia, so you can go on the website and check every word that he said. It was a very, very interesting press conference, besides what he said about Franchesco Acerbi. And as for myself, keep following me. Thank you very much for the support until now, and I'll be back from Coverciano for more updates in the coming days, videos from press conferences and training sessions as well. We speak soon. Bye.